I'm gonna show you how great I am.
Everything around you that you call life was made up by people that were no smarter than
Everybody
you.
has time. Stop watching Lost.
I love what I do, and that's why I'm doing what I love.
Hey guys, welcome to Ocean Weekly. So today I'm going to be talking about sleep in general. I'm going to be talking about, can you substitute substances for sleep? Can you get away with not having that much sleep? Where are the boundaries of that? Blah, blah, blah. And my techniques for getting more sleep, what helps me personally. And I am also going to discuss the benefits or myths of getting up early and if they're actually necessary, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, first of all, I'd just like to say that personally, I have never been a good sleeper. I suck at sleeping. I swear I need to go get some thing to help me sleep, or I was thinking of resorting to just a pill to help me sleep, but I also do think there's a lot of things that I'm doing wrong when it comes to sleeping. I do think that I could be going about sleeping in a better way, because I know I would be spending a lot of time on my phone before I slept. So I would be spending a lot of time on my phone, and that could really, I know there's these services called F-Lux, and I know the iPhone now has a service that does it, but really I think the best thing is just to stay away from your phone for about 1 hour, an hour and a half, the very minimum 30 minutes. I believe there was a study and it was looking at this sort of thing, and it figured out that up to 15 minutes, if you go on your phone for 15 minutes, melatonin begins to be suppressed. And it is suppressed because, I don't know, but basically melatonin is the thing that makes you want to go to sleep. It is the hormone that want to sleep, and when that is suppressed, you will have no desire to sleep, and sleeping will become a lot harder, and that sort of recurs indefinitely, because you go on your phone and then you try to get to sleep. You're like, okay, it's 11 o'clock now, I'm going to try and get to sleep. Then you get off your phone, and then after that you realize, oh crap, I can't sleep, blah blah blah. Oh, I'll just go on my phone for a bit because I'm bored. Or sometimes even instinctually I'll notice that I will reach for my phone, which is not a good thing for productivity, and it's also not a good thing for sleep, because if you're reaching for your phone, then how can you really be, every time you reach for your phone, you're basically prolonging that one. If we're looking at this from purely productive wise, then you are losing a lot of productivity. If you say you try and go to bed at 11 o'clock, you don't get to sleep by 11:30, so then you go on your phone for 15 minutes to try wait till you're asleep, and then you go and then you wait again and you come to sleep, and then you go on the phone again, and by that time it's like 1 o'clock at night. You've wasted 2 hours of doing absolutely nothing. But in reverse to that, what I've realized is more productive, and what I was so bad at this last year and this year, and only in the last maybe month or two have I realized how to really get good sleep, and that enables me to get up early and all that kind of stuff. So what I do is I literally just put my phone far away from me, nearly out of arm's reach basically. So even if you use it as an alarm, even if you do want to go on your phone, it's a little bit harder, which I guess, creates a boundary. And the one trick that I found is I don't like get into bed or get ready for bed and then get into bed and check my notifications. The idea is you've got to realize that your notifications will still be there in the morning, and if someone really, really needs you, they will call you, and then you will get that call, and you will realize if you're really, really urgently needed, someone will talk to you. You'll realize, unless you're like trading stocks overnight, there's nothing really you need to worry about overnight. So that's one thing that I definitely struggled with, because I would always just check my phone because I might be missing out on something, or there might be something that I should check up on before I go to bed if I've not gone on my phone for an hour or two, that kind of thing. And then that leads to just getting stuck on your phone. So I think that's one thing that I definitely need to improve on in myself. So I'd also like to talk about, so that's my main technique for getting better sleep. Another thing is someone mentioned to me, and I think this has scientific backing, is you don't, especially not a big meal, too close to your bedtime. Because say if you're eating straight before you go to bed, then I can't even remember. I studied this last semester. One of your nervous systems, or your one of your systems is activated, and that means that you're actively churning through the food and trying to get rid of it and do all that kind of stuff, and that basically makes it much harder to sleep because your body thinks that you're awake, all that kind of stuff. But on the contrary to that, I don't know why that is true, because when your insulin is spiked, I think this is true, I might be completely wrong on this, but when your insulin is spiked, you get a little drowsy, you get a little dozy, and then you nod off, and that's why a lot of people feel quite docile after they've had a big meal and they just want to go have a nap. So yeah, I don't know why that's the case, but yeah. So going to sleep at a reasonable hour allows me to get up early. So back in the day, well, back like 2 months ago, I would be trying to get a decent amount of sleep, but I couldn't, and I would try really hard. I thought I was trying really hard, but the thing that I really needed to do was, it's not the fact that you really need to get in bed and try hard, it's just that you need to cut yourself off from your phone. Don't let your phone distract you. Don't let any light in your room, so absolutely no light. You want to have as minimal light as possible. So say next to my bed I've got a charger, and that charger has light on it. I literally put a hat over the charger, and that gets rid of most of the light, and that helps me a lot. I also make sure that I'm completely ready, so there's nothing that I can need to worry about, because I notice sometimes I'll just be lying there and I'll be thinking, okay, blah blah blah, and then something will come up and I'll be like, oh crap, I need to go schedule that on my phone. Like I think I did that last night with something, putting something on my phone that no one knew I needed to have there. So yeah, I think that's one thing that you could also do, is get organized for the next day, the night of. So yeah, so that allows, when I'm getting a lot of good quality sleep, I notice that it's really, really easy for me to get up really early. So recently I've been getting up at 5 o'clock and going to the gym, and then before uni has even started, I've already gone to the gym. I've done all my hard work at the gym. I've gotten a good meal, all that kind of stuff. Leave for uni at 8, or leave for uni at 7. So yeah, basically I've done the majority of my stuff before, and that just allows me to be, I feel like it makes me more productive, but it might not make you more productive. So that's one thing you've got to figure out, because I noticed that my evenings from anywhere past like 7, I don't get shit done. So that's where I do things like I talk to my girlfriend at 7 o'clock, and after 7 o'clock I do basic tasks that require not much, and they are, or I use it as time where I'm dedicated to relaxing, and time where I'm dedicated to just whatever, just chilling out, playing video games. I don't really play video games anymore, so I got super addicted to video games. Like, there was a time, I played so much RuneScape, so much League of Legends, so much Counter-Strike. Those games, I would always just play one game, but I would get so addicted to that one game. And that was another thing that stopped me sleeping, was I would just stay up and be thinking about this thing all night. Another thing people do is they do things like meditation or something like that, because I found meditation worked a little for me, but the main thing was I couldn't meditate, then go on my phone and then sleep. The best thing for me would be I would meditate and then go straight to sleep, ignore my phone. So the biggest thing that I notice that comes up and makes me not be able to sleep is my phone. For a long time I thought, oh no, but I'm not going on it. I'm just lying there. But I'm lying there for like 10 minutes and I get distracted by my phone. I don't even know if this is a problem of everyone, so everyone might find this podcast completely useless, but personally I find this has been a major issue for me. So the main sticking points that I think, if you can't get a good night's sleep and you're wondering why, the main things to change is how you use your phone and when you use your phone and how close you use your phone to your bedtime. I think another thing to change could be doing things like studying something that you know reasonably well, like not studying a huge task or doing something that you just need to grind out and it's repetitive. So I do some filing for my parents, and that is a very, very repetitive, boring task. It requires absolutely no mental focus. Like I focus, maybe my brain's on like 5%, whatever. Like very, very easy, and I like to do that before bed or something like that. Something that I just have to do and have to get done. But yeah. And when it comes to things like getting up early at 5 o'clock, I do think that for me it makes me very, 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 it makes me always have a much more productive day. Because in the afternoon, if I go to the gym in the afternoon, say I finish uni at 4, then I travel for half an hour, go to the gym for 2 hours. Like it ends up being about 2 hours, like 1 hour of actually working, 15 minutes getting there, 15 minutes warming up, 30 minutes walking home and showering. Like that's if you consider that all gym time. So it ends up being at least 2 hours, and it's at least 1 hour working, so it can be more than that. And then by that time it's 6 o'clock, and when it's 6 o'clock I have 1 hour, and then I talk to my girlfriend, and then I have another hour. So I do that for an hour, and then I do random tasks, and I'm sort of in this mode that I feel deactivated. So I know there was a podcast, I think it was College Info Geek, one of the episodes they talked about your sort of sleep, your most active times in the day. So I know for myself, my most active or awake time is in the morning. Like if I can get up early, if I get up at 5 o'clock and work till 9 in the morning, yeah, if I work for 4 hours from 5 in the morning, I get so much done just because no one's awake, I have no distractions, everyone's asleep, and like I feel more productive and I feel like a successful person when I get up early. And it's like, it's not something that I do easily. Like say I go and have a night out, I'm out till like 3 or 4 a.m., then it's not going to be easy to go and, get up at a certain time, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I just find that for myself, it does make me more productive and I do get more done just because I've got my gymming out of the way and it's not something that can obstruct me later in the day, because instead from that 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. slot, I can actually do things because I find I am quite productive. But yeah, I would like to do another episode on things like procrastination and things like sort of just being on your phone all the time, and I want to figure out how I can help people or how I can learn and then teach people how to not go on their phone so much. Because I saw Matt Ogus yesterday, he was talking about in his Snapchat how his girlfriend was always checking her phone, blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff, and I always check my phone. Sometimes I'll get in these months where I don't check my phone, but then other times I'll be checking my phone like every 15 minutes all the time. I'll be checking my stocks, I'll be checking Instagram, I'll be checking all these things. And now that I've started this thing, I feel like I can justify it. I feel like it's productive. Like sometimes I can feel like, oh, checking my stocks is kind of productive because, maybe my stocks are going up, maybe they're plummeting, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. So I feel like in a way that lets me justify it, and that's one thing that I want to get rid of. I don't want to continue to justify it, really. So yeah, basically to sum it up, I'd just like to say my main 3 things that I think would improve anyone's sleep is 1, the main biggest thing in order of the most important to least is first deal with how you treat your phone and how you treat blue light and how you treat, I think it's called yellow light. Deal with how you treat those and deal with the lighting in your room, all that kind of stuff. Another thing would be 1, don't exercise and don't eat, too close to bed. I think someone said it's like 3-hour gap between exercise and maybe 1.5. But don't have a huge meal 1.5 hours. Maybe just have decent meal. But for myself, I'm trying to bulk, so I do try to get food in every at least 2 hours and just eat tons. Just eat as much as I can without it being too dirty, sort of like not just McDonald's and all that crap here. But yeah, I do think that, yeah, I'd also like to, the third thing was definitely meditation. I do think that it can help a lot, but I think you must meditate and then go straight to bed, because then it's just straight up relaxed, all that kind of stuff. I know ASMR works for some people. If you know what that is, then you can use that. If you don't, and if you don't understand it, I'd reckon you check it out. Like, it does work for me. I don't use it too much, but it does work. ASMR. I'd also like to talk about all-nighters. So I did actually write a post about all-nighters a while ago where I did an all-nighter for, I think it was for a project or something. Or no, I think I had an interview in the morning, but then, some guy forgot. But then, yeah. So I had an interview in the morning at like 5 a.m., but I didn't think I would get to sleep. I was trying to get to sleep and it was like 1:30 and I didn't think I was going to get to sleep. So I just decided, okay, I'm going to try and pull a productive all-nighter. And the thing is, I actually got tons of work done that night just because there was no distractions. It was like I'd gotten up at 5 a.m., but at 1 a.m. So it's like, basically I just had a lot of time to just get shit done. And I felt it worked quite well. But yeah, so that's my opinion on all-nighters. If you want like more of my opinion and how I think you should tackle it, I think they said the best, there was a study and it was going into its driving performance, how caffeine affects the driving performance of sleep-deprived drivers. And they found that some of the drivers that took caffeine nearly negated the effects of the sleep deprivation. I wouldn't recommend that. I mean, it's not a smart thing to do, but say if you're going to the gym in the morning, like I went to the gym on that day because my interview got cancelled at 5 a.m., which I stayed up for, and then I went to the gym and I was like, okay, well, I've been sleep deprived, I might as well take some caffeine. So I took a caffeine pill, just 200 milligrams, which is like maybe about two coffees, yeah. yeah, so I took that and then I felt reasonably good. I felt alright, but then walking home from the gym, I felt like I was drunk. Oh, if you've never done an all-nighter or you've never like done an all-nighter where you're actually just by yourself, you notice the effects so much. Like a lot of people have done all-nighters like with their friends, you know, all that kind of stuff, like haha. But if you ever try to pull a productive all-nighter, I think it is a reasonable thing to do. Like say if I had 2 assignments due on the same day, what they're both due Friday 4 p.m. Thursday night, you know you're not going to get them finished. So one thing that I would recommend is you can either, or say they're due Friday 9 a.m. One thing that I would recommend is maybe you do coffee every 2 hours, or you do coffee every 3 whatever hours past 2 3 a.m. Once you start to get quiet, once you start to get tired. And I also turn off the F-lux on your computer, turn off the white light sort of thing. And yeah, I find that helps me a lot because it basically suppresses your melatonin and makes you not want to sleep, but then you are going to feel like shit. Like you're not going to feel good. And also if you are a fitness person, you're going to keep in mind that you are going to be burning more calories that night just because you're not sleeping. So yeah, that's one thing to take into consideration. I wouldn't recommend going to the gym and doing some heavy stuff at the gym. I really wouldn't recommend that, but it is fun going to the gym at like midnight. I've never had like a drunk gym session or anything like that, but I know like I think it's quite fun going to the gym like as soon as it opens. It's just quite a good feeling because you know you're the first person, you are one of the first people on you know where you are to be exercising, and it feels good. But yeah, so that's basically the main things I'd like to say. So meditate, control your phone and white light, and also control your eating before you sleep. So yeah, that's the gist of it. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me on Instagram, email, or whatever. My email is actually on my Instagram. So yeah, if you would like to read my article, I will leave that in the show notes. My article about all-nighters, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. I would love your feedback because I don't know how much value this brings to people, because essentially what I'm doing is I'm just giving my knowledge, and my knowledge might not be that great because I'm just some random kid. So I would really like your opinion, and I'd really like if you just left a review and told me that it's shit, or told me that you actually like this and that it's more intimate and then it feels more genuine maybe than like a normal interview, because I know my interviews can get a bit like, oh hi, how are you, blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I try to keep more genuine, just because I think like those podcasts that are like, hey Tim, how are you, blah blah blah. Yeah, okay, I'm just rambling. So yeah, check me out on Instagram, Facebook, my email, blah blah blah. Ask me questions everywhere. You can check out my blog post in the show notes. So yeah, have a good night guys, and thank you for listening.